Okay, looks like I'm back. Sorry about that. I was trying to see if I could stream in 720p because right after I started the stream, I remembered uh, um, on the last stream it was quite jittery. So I went live and remembered, oh yeah, I need to set it to 720p. Went offline, tried to set it to 720p, tried to come back online, and for whatever reason, it just wasn't going live. So I've had to go offline again, set it back to 1080p, and now it seems like I'm back. So let me just check the audio levels. Just wasn't going. Okay, looks good. Let me share the link. Okay, I have to apologise to my dad there. I saw in the chat you were saying hi, but then obviously you couldn't hear me speaking back because the stream was offline. Uh, Hopefully he comes back and sees this. Right. Let's set up the scenario then. I think 20 kilometers is our usual one for streams. And the new thing with this, a couple of new things. The first is that the Vegeta scale is fixed. Accidentally had the enhanced Vegeta scale ranges set when calculating your probe sample category. So because of that, it was everything was just calculated incorrectly. So that's fixed now. And then the other major thing is the performance settings, which is what I want to check, make sure that that works well. And maximum tornadoes, I'll set it to 2 to test multi-tornado behavior, but it should be fine. And let's have a preview, see what we're looking at here. Okay, this is Major Outbreak. Looks fun enough. Let's start. Okay, so simply to get to that menu, you just hit Escape. So I've got all the settings here. Now, I don't want to change that while streaming in case it kicks me offline again. Tornado quality high, cell quality high. I think we'll keep these. Same weather quality high. You can set that to insane. That's not my setting. That's the person who made this weather library setting. But I don't want it to start lagging too badly, so I'll just set that back to high. Texture quality ultra. That's a default. This is the default texture quality. High means half resolution, medium's quarter, and low is 1/8 resolution. Render distance, we'll keep it at 8 kilometers. FPS limit is now 60, VSyncs disabled. So, there we go. Hopefully the stream's a bit smoother actually, because you've got the rate limit capped at 60 frames per second, so that can make things easier. Right, let's see, am I driving in the right direction? Yes, I am. And this stream should be able to be a bit more fast-paced. Oh yeah, this was since the last stream I've made the headlights a lot brighter. Maybe they're too bright. But they were far too weak before. Right, let's have a look at reflectivity. It's behind us. Okay, so let's just stay at a sig velocity on. We'll see a couple come up with something forms. I want to get here. It gives good options each way. So the headlights are brighter. Yeah, and we've got the quick deploy, quick recall, which means I don't have to spend like 20 minutes going back to collect the probe, try to catch up with the tornado. It's just, that just slows the pace of the game down way too much, so it should be much more fun this time. Okay, we've got something showing up already. It's behind us. Let's see. Oh, and another thing. Hopefully that pesky control inversion problem has gone for good. Turns out there's multiple things which could have been causing that. So they're all fixed now, hopefully. I haven't seen it reoccur, but knowing my luck, as soon as I'm live on stream, it'll pop up again. So what I'm going to do is show you the different tornado quality settings here. So this is high, and we can set it to ultra. So you'll just get far more fine-grained detail, but you'll also get a lower frame rate. One thing I noticed, between ultra and medium, visually there's not too much difference. Like, you do lose some of those finer details, but it's still playable. So if you're struggling, you can go down to medium without huge loss in visual quality while still getting a huge performance gain. And then low is for if your laptop's really struggling, or I'm assuming it's a laptop that's really struggling. It's far lower resolution, so for whatever reason, it's not rendering all the way to the ground. Maybe I need to look into that before I push the update. So I go there back to like ultra. Things are still fine. Go to high, which is the default. It does look like it's weakening. Yeah. It looks like it's in a cycle. Right, let's high velocity. So it's heading this way. So I think if we go like that and get in front of it. Oh, and what I'm going to do now, because I always forget this, I'm going to turn the probe on. So we're collecting wind data now. Which way are we going? Okay, never mind. We're going to take the risky route. We're going to go this way and get it. Just zoom in a bit so I can see what's happening down there. And also feel free to ask questions and interact in the chat. I love answering questions, just talking different ideas, stories and things. So don't be shy, feel free to say hi in the chat. Oh, that just appeared out of nowhere. Which way is it going? Right, I've got a left turn somewhere we can take. Not quite sure what to do. Because we're kind of in front of it, we're kind of not as well. Right, let's do a J turn. And I think what we'll do is we'll go off-road and try and get up here. So let's build some speed up. There it is right behind us. And I want to head that way. I'll get overrun by this at the same time. Looks like the intercept spot's here. The question is, can I get there before the tornado? Where's the road? Where's the road? See my bit? There it is. Right. YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming as such videos will experience buffering. That's what I was trying to avoid. I tried streaming in 720p and then the stream refused to start. Yeah, let's pause the game a second here. See if I can close some background. I'm just going to close some background things. Drop frames detected. Right, we shouldn't be dropping frames. Right, let me just close some stuff I don't need. I've got Unity open. That'll be sucking a lot of resources. Let's close Unity. What else have I got running? Chrome. I need Chrome open. Stream quality is poor. I don't know why, because I've got a really good internet. I've got a gigabit internet, almost. I think it's like 900 megabits. So I don't know why the internet would be a bottleneck. Let me just check. Stream. Right, I think so. What we can do for this one is use quick deploy. So right when I think I'm in the path, I'll just go quick deploy. That drops the probe and keep our speed up, and hopefully get away from the tornado. Even though it's grabbing the truck quite severely. Now I'll try and open up the probe camera. So we're getting F1 strength already. Not receiving enough video. I don't want to have to end and restart the stream like a third time. I think we can watch the tornado from here. You can video the tornado from here. Let's go back to Streamlabs. I wonder what the issue is here. Apologies for this, it's saying drop frames detected. Maybe I'm trying to stream at too high of a bit rate. Right, apologies, I'm going to have to go offline again for another 30 seconds just to change the streaming setting. Oh, looks like it's just gonna miss it. We're gonna miss the most intense area, possibly. Oh, it's gonna hit us again. F2. Let's not forget about the actual tornado that's closing in on us as well. Okay, it's saying excellent now. I was trying to stream at 20 megabits per second. That was part of the problem. We got an F3 strength. Okay, I think it's time for us to start making a bit of an escape. You can hear the winds picking up. Tornado design looks good. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I have no idea how much time has gone into the tornado design. Because this asset that I'm using for rendering tornadoes isn't even really meant for that. It's more of a fluid simulation type thing. It's meant for like smoke and fog and mist and stuff like that. And I had to do some heavy modifications to it to get it working in a way which resembles tornadoes. Before that, I'd written a complete custom shader. So essentially every tornado was really just a transparent cube. And then I just added logic on top which rendered tornado volume inside of that. I put a load of effort into that. I think I worked on that for like a year, just the shader, before I even started on the game. Right, let's see. This is the view from the other side. So, look, you can see the shadow on one side of the tornado. It's backlit almost, and it's frontlit here, so there's probes on the other side, but it's still collecting data, so I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to silence my phone and open, because I don't know if it's my preview, because YouTube shows you like a little preview and a little window while you're streaming. I don't know if it's just that which is jittery, or if it legitimately is. So let's find my channel from the phone. Yeah, and I'm just going to mute it. I'm just going to see what the frame rate actually looks like. Is it actually really jittery or not? Let's move the camera a bit. Oh no, it's the preview, sorry. I've been stressed this whole time about how smooth the stream is. It's my preview which is jittery, not the actual stream. Right, well, let me stop yammering on and do a quick recall. It'll instantly teleport back into our truck. That's much better. And I haven't been paying much attention, so it looks like I'm about to get driven by the tornado again. There's some reflecting off the other side of this driveway. It's come a long way. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, I think that was the most important thing for me when making the game. Like, it's hard to intercept the tornadoes, and at the very least, what you want is... There's a pro over there. You need something visually impressive, something that's actually been worth your time trying to hunt down and intercept. Yeah, this isn't good. 94 miles an hour. The car lifts up, I think, initially about 120 miles an hour. So, quite a close call there. Let's view the probe cam if we can. It looks like we're right in the middle of it, because I'm just rotating around and we can barely see anything. Right, and we need to think about where we want to go for our next intercept. Right, we need to go off-road. kick the back end out a bit there. The sub-vortices still rotate around the highest wind speeds. We'll see. I did a little bit of change to the logic of how the Vegeta rating's calculated, where it's like shading these colours right before the stream, and I haven't actually tested that. The way it works is it kind of chooses... Whoa, that's shrunk rapidly. So the way the sub-vortices worked initially was that I just kind of chose a random radius for each one and a random distance on the centre, and they just circulate at that distance. So I didn't specifically say keep the sub-vortices in the highest wind field area. I just kind of chose this offset it just so it looks cool on the map. I'll probably refine that a bit once I start to actually render multi-vortex tornadoes. But for now, it's kind of random a bit. Sometimes it'll be within the highest wind speed area. Sometimes it might jut out a bit. And I know it's not the most realistic, but I just wanted something which looks cool. Priorities for this game are number one, that it's fun, and number two, that it looks cool. And then realism kind of comes, but it's just not outbreaks. If you want realism, outbreaks the game for that. Because in real life, storm chases are slow, and you may or may not see anything at all. Right, I think we need to do another rapid deploy. Are we in the path? This may... Right. Let's just think. Right, I need to be ready to go the other way. Look at that thing. Right. We're going to do a rapid deploy again. Quick deploy, and we're going to get out of there. See, you hear those winds. Let's open the probe cam again. Let's just pivot that around. in your like vortex wind speed model with the fade off. That would be really interesting. Yes, please, if you're able to send that over. Are you on the Discord server? If you just shoot me a DM on Discord, or just drop it in like the development suggestions, or somewhere there that I can see, I'd be definitely interested in that, because when it comes to like calculating wind speeds and things, I do try and do that as realistically as I can. I think, is this our... Alright, I'm going to take a screenshot. I think this is the stream thumbnail. And let's do a window screenshot. Okay. You can just use that, have support to rotate in your predecided radius of maximum value. Yeah, I can definitely do that. If you're able to send that over, please, I'd really appreciate that. I say I've used the Rankine Vortex to kind of trail the wind speed off from the centre, but I don't really have a multi-vortex model for that. This is coming towards us, it's hard to tell. The wind speed's 103 miles an hour, so I'm going to say yes, we are a little bit too close. Let's see what we can see from the probe cam. I think it's past now. Yeah, it's on the other side. So we'll just plough through this cornfield, hopefully the vegetation comes back. I do need to find a better vegetation renderer for this game. The one I've got was pretty expensive, so I was hesitant to buy another one, but the developer doesn't offer any support. So I don't want to buy his updated version, which is just as expensive as the first one, and just potentially not have that work either. You'll DM me. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that'd be cool. And then I really need to put together like a credits page, because so many people have helped with this game as well, in testing and sending, like designing graphics, models. People have been like really brilliant about helping out with this game. Right, are we in intercept position yet? Oh yeah, look, it's putting down some sub-votes now, but you can see they're a bit too big, so it's kind of just a big blob. But you can see they are circulating around each other. I think we need to be a little bit further north. Let's put the lights back on. One thing I've noticed, there's an accidental bug, is that if you press the L key, the lights will come on from wherever you're standing, even if you're outside the truck. It's kind of a bug, because I didn't intend it that way, but it's actually really convenient if you want to turn the lights off while you're taking a photo. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. It's literally that meme of it's a feature, not a bug. I think it's getting wider. How? Yeah. Let's see. I think this would put us square in the path. Right. So we need to do a quick recall. Yeah. And let's do a manual deployment. We haven't done that yet. So lift this up. Put it. Where's the tornado? I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's get out of here. Look, no, I'm sure the keys would have inverted there if the problem was still happening. Right, let's go to probe cam. I think if we just follow this road, how do we keep ahead of it? How do we keep ahead of it? Where's? Sorry, I just need to take a peek at the road network. Right, some dirt roads coming up. Man, this thing's catching up on me quick. That actually looks intimidating. If this was real life, I'd be really intimidated right now. Alright, so we need to go through the hills. Not ideal, as they're really slow to navigate, but I can't turn right, so I hate driving up these, even though I designed them. But they're designed to be awkward and clunky. Just like in real life, the roads aren't always flat and straight and go exactly where you want. This isn't good. Right. I think I need to go first person view inside the truck. Right. It is gaining on us. Right, down. I think if we go off road here and drive towards those cornfields, hopefully there isn't just enough road to get north before it gets us. Is it weakening again? No, definitely not weakening. Let's take a look at the probe camera. Let's take a look at our data. Actually, it's been a while since we looked at that. I haven't got a single F5 sample. Let's do a quick analyze. Okay, we're going through the cornfield. Let's turn the lights off, it's a bit bright. You can see the corn kind of folds down in front of the truck. Took a bit to get set up, but I think it's worth it. For the Twister vibes. Right. We're on the other side of this field now. Let's get ready to intersect. Yeah, it looks more like it's going to hit like the top corner up here. Yeah, so we need to go here and then turn right and go off-road. We'll use the little reference point trick. Oops. Ah, that's a bug. It's still selecting. See that? Press space to press the handbrake. It's still selecting things in the settings menu. I need to make sure that doesn't happen. VSync enabled. We definitely don't want that enabled. Right, so I'll patch that quickly before I push the update. Right, we need to be in the truck. Quick recall. Quick deploy. And now we need to escape to the north. Off-road. Probe cam again. There we go. Already measuring F1. Put the lights on again. I need to look where I'm going to go. Yeah, so going right would be good. We'll have to cross in front of the tornado, but as soon as I get to the road here, what's the probe doing? F3 we're getting. I'm just going to try the best to stay ahead here. That thing's gone absolutely monstrous. Yeah, look, it's hitting F5 intensity in sight now. Do we pick up some of that? Yeah, we're getting our F5 samples. Let's finish analysing the data. See if we can get any anomalies. Not yet. Alright, we're ahead of it. I think we've got a safe distance. Let's turn the lights off because we're in a kind of clear region. Okay, so our probe's still in the middle of it. Looks like it might be, yeah. It's got an F4 samples. Taking dragged over since I'm standing too close to that tailgate. Yeah, it's just completely blacked out. I think in terms of the map, let's zoom in on the map. Yeah, we got that almost dead center. Happy with that, and we're well placed for another intercept. But it's still getting data, so this is the question: when do we do a quick recall? Okay, F1, right. I think we'll do the quick recall now. Oh, it won't work. The assumption is if you stand outside your truck, you're going to deploy manually. So let's do a quick recall. Let's take a look at the map. Where do we need to be for another intercept? I think we need to be along that way. Oh, it's getting close to the road. Maybe we need to off-road a bit. Ah, okay, that's definitely a problem I'm going to have to fix. Hitting space for handbrake selects the invisible UI items behind it. Can't be having that. Alright, this looks like a good spot. As soon as we get on the road, yeah, we'll deploy. Let's do a manual deployment this time. Let's check for control inversion issues. Nope, still working fine. Right, that is really closing in on us. Right, run. I'm gonna turn around. Probe camera. I'll try to keep that in the bottom corner so you can see it approach. Maybe zoom out a touch. Is it weakening? Or am I just getting further away from it? Or both? Yeah. Let's wait till we get to the next junction, then that'll give us some, hopefully, north-south options. I don't think there are any other junctions. I'm going to have to stop using handbrake. Yeah, definitely need to put that on the to fix list before I push the update. Hopefully I can push the update tonight. Right, stop using the handbrake, I need to tell myself that. Right, probe camera. F1. Got some more data. Let's analyze this, see if we can get any anomalies. There's a 1 in 1,000 chance for every anomaly. See, they're kind of playing a mini lottery every time you cash in your data. So it has weakened. What's that? F1, F2, F3 strength by the looks of it. Map looks like it's not up to date. Oh, no, what it is, it's getting weaker. It's within this region here. It's weakening. Okay, but so this is where the forecast skill comes into this. Because, yeah, it's just roped out, but if we look at K and look at helicity, it's still high enough to generate violent tornadoes. So what it could just do is put another tornado down right on top of us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick recall, which won't work. You'll be here. Maybe I'll make those work outside the truck. See, yeah, look, it's coming straight back down again. But let's just watch it. It's gonna... it's just gonna wedge out, like, almost instantaneously. Right, let's take these overlays off. We need to be... a bit further north. Vegetation's decided to render again, which is nice. Okay, if we can get to about here, just based on the path, see if we can be around here. I think it's just F2 right now. Oh, it's lifting again. Don't trust it though. It's like the jumper on in Twister, the F3 on the hill. Just because it lifts up doesn't mean it's going to immediately come back down twice as strong. Twice as wide. Nope, coming back down again. Where's the road? Right. There's the intersection there. Are we in the path? It's going to pass slightly to our south, or is it coming straight towards us? Coming straight towards us, right. Let's pull this up and drop it. Get back in the truck and away from it. Right, let's head north because then we've got a really nice east option here. Let's get up the probe camera. I think I should zoom out a lot more. Stop using the space bar. We need to think about positioning for the next intercept. I think here's a good spot. Here's a perfect spot. So we can adjust either north, south, east, west, any direction we need to. Probe camera. Oh, like it. You like the probe camera? Yeah, I was excited about that feature. It made me completely redo the VHS effect. It literally looks like it's the same VHS effect that I would have had with the tornado videos I used to watch when I was younger. Literally just record them off the TV straight onto VHS, and I just watch them over and over again. One of the ones I used to watch obsessively, actually, is on YouTube, I think it is. It's called Eye of the Storm. And, like, I could still remember, like, just based on the dialogue, even watching it, like, 25 years later, just based solely off what was said in the dialogue, I knew what was coming next, and I knew which song was coming on next, like, because I have, like, different dramatic music. It's weird how much you can remember, even though the last time I watched it, I was, like, 5 or 6 years old. How did we do with this? Oh, bang in the middle. Right, so once this drops down to, say, F1 strength, I reckon we'll deploy again right here. Yeah, but the probe camera itself, once we get a clear view, because blackout conditions right now, because the tornado's so strong. Should we see if we found any more anomalies? No, none yet. But we have collected $4,500. I can hear the wind picking up. Need to decide when to redeploy. This is getting sketchy. Can you hear the wind? Right, I reckon we do a quick recall. I need to head north. I can't quite tell which direction that is. This way, I think? Yeah. It's this way. Nothing. May have to off-road a bit. It's risky though, because the off-road speed's only like 40 miles an hour. But if we deploy about here... Oh look, there it is. Look, let's say it's weakening a bit. Right about here. Let's go to the tailgate. Controls still haven't inverted. Really good sign. I feel like the more I say that, the more likely the bug is just to reappear. Close that. Here's it coming this way. We can use this as a point of reference. We can take the left edge of the funnel. Let's get the camera pointing the right way. Make it match our perspective. Down a bit, zoom in a bit more. There we go. Yeah, I think we're in the path. Yeah, right. I think continue in this direction. I need to get out of here. Let's continue in this direction. And then take the road north. And then west. Hello, real Smurf. Glad you could join us for the stream. Oh look, it's gone F4 again. Right, let's park. Let's get parked. Right. Pro camera, what can I say? There we go. It's F1 right now. I can maybe get both in view. That tornado is so wide that even zooming out, it's not really making any difference. You can kind of see it on the left-hand side there. Might even see the whole thing. You might be getting feedback for a second. My AirPod ran out of battery. Let's reconnect. Thing you probably, because I'm using my microphone and my laptop speakers for the stream, so apologies there. It might have got a bit distorted there, the audio. F2 strength, but it should be all back to normal now. I've got my left AirPod in instead of my right. At least it sounded realistic. Oh, control inversion. Why? What did I do differently there? What was different with exiting the vehicle this time compared to all the others? Enter and exit again? Yeah, it persists. Was it something to do with having the menu open? That is gotta be one of the most annoying bugs I've ever had. It's just a first-person control. It's just meant to move in the direction the camera's pointing. But for some odd reason, it can get offset, and I can't figure out the conditions which cause that. Here's me thinking it was fixed. It seems to be when the computer's... What I'm thinking is, it has to track your yaw, which is how if I'm looking left or right, and synchronize that with the rigid body. It's essentially just a cylinder with physics applied to it. That has to be synchronized, and if the game's under extreme load, it means the physics is slower than the actually rendering. Yeah, and it ends up being offset because the code which updates your position is running more slowly than how quickly you update which way you're pointing. Because now it's fixed all of a sudden, so it comes intermittently. Yeah, I made them a lot brighter because they were useless. I couldn't see because of how much preset there was, especially at night time. So I thought I need to get better headlights. And I thought I chose 2 tornadoes on here. Have we actually had any other tornadoes drop down on the map while we've been chasing this? Oh yeah, we've had another one. Didn't even see that. Yeah, because before there wasn't really much difference between that and having the headlights on. Where's it going? Where's it going? Let's do a quick recall because we can gather anything here. Is that coming this way? Yeah, it is. What on earth? It looks like once it's dropped down here, it's just moved directly towards us for some reason. Right, alright. Let's find the road. Yeah, the wind was... Alright, there's the road. It's not helpful. Where did that come from? Yeah, I do need to add that as a feature back into the game. If I turn left, this is the road over here. I think we're in the path. This way. Okay, here's the road. That's a good place to deploy if it's coming this way. You need to remember, don't use space for the handbrake yet. Yeah, see, it's fine now. Let's have a look. Got any other cells on the map? Not right now. So all the actions are up in the northeast corner, and then it'll rope out, and then we'll need to head back down this way again. You know, I think once this chase is over, I might have to end the stream. So I do need to get ready for work tomorrow as well. To take a quick screenshot. Switch over to velocity mode. Yeah, I can see it weakening there. So, I have had the idea, so you asked me about adding a DAO. So I couldn't add it as the DAO because I'm guessing there's some issue with having real world vehicles and like actually name them after the real world counterparts. Might end up being legal issues there. But one idea I have had, and I implemented a prototype maybe a year and a half ago, where the idea would be you'd want to try and scan the entire volume of the tornado, so your radar would do a 360-degree sweep, then it would increase the tilt, do another 360-degree sweep, and you could like visualize the wind field on a little kind of like the mini map we've got in the corner here. So I did implement that, but once I started rebuilding the game, I haven't added that back, but it could be another way of earning money. So the maybe not the DAO explicitly, but the ability to have a radar which takes horizontal slices of the tornado at different heights, and you got to try and get as much of the tornado as you can to earn money. That can definitely be added to the game. Whether it's mounted on a big dedicated truck, I'd need to have the 3D model for that to make that work. Oh, so the cool of being in games. I'll still have to confirm that myself just to do my own due diligence. But yeah, if there are, that would be cool. Like I did email Howard Bluestein, about using Toto in the game. He didn't seem to have any. Asked him if he had any problem with it, and then he didn't really mention anything about that. He just told me that he's got a student working on like a storm chasing like board game or something like that. I think we're getting range folding here. So because he didn't say explicitly no, I'm assuming it's fine to use this in the game. But if for whatever reason he somehow sees the stream and doesn't want this in the game, just let me know and I can put something else in there. Well, that's gone really... Look at the range folding on this. Is it range folding? I forget what it's called. When the value gets so high on the velocity, it flips around and goes negative. Thank you for the DM, Rainbow does stuff. I haven't got a notification on my phone for some reason, so I didn't see that come through. Look at the width of that thing, man. So the map is 20 kilometers. That's 10. So I think the wind field's like 7 kilometers wide. Okay, thank you. If you can forward on the email, message requests on Discord. Ah, yes, I can get that. Yeah, oh, I can see now. Oh wow, this is extremely detailed. This is absolute gold. Yeah, so I won't be able to read this on stream just now, but I'm just looking through. Got extremely detailed instructions, visualizations, paired with real-world examples. Yeah, that's some next-level stuff there. Oh, you actually got an email from Josh Werman himself. Oh, he's happy to help with accuracy and fact checking. Well, that's cool. It's always nice when people are like to say happy to help the Tornado community in general, whether it's movies, games, research. That's good to see. Yeah, so things like the action slowed down a bit. It looked like it was coming this way. It made like a bolt this direction and then moved away. So, I was planning on ending the stream at 9:30, but I'm itching for one more chase. Let's do... Okay, what I'm going to close out the game and reload it again. Oh, let's scan our data one last time. Yeah, I haven't created a convenient way to restart the game yet, so I'm not ending the stream just yet. Let's close it. I'll run it again. Yeah, I remember Josh Roman saying about some of the early documentaries. He's what got me interested in Doppler radar and how it works. I just remember seeing like the velocity scans and stuff from it would have been the May 3rd, 1999 event. Yeah, had a big part to play in me getting more interested in tornadoes. Right, I'm doing a slightly smaller map this time, and let's just max out all the sliders. We'll just do one tornado for now. Let's preview the chase. What would be considered an anomaly? It's kind of an abstract concept here, so it would be a wind speed reading which doesn't match with what you'd expect given the scientific understanding in the 90s. So imagine you've got some sort of formula which predicts what the wind speed would be as it at a distance from the tornado. And the anomaly would just be some reading which doesn't agree with that. It's kind of left abstract. It's just kind of, maybe I'll just call them discoveries or something like that. The idea is that there's just this rare data points you can find which help advance your career. What are you planning on adding? So in the near future, I want to add power flashes. That's probably like a 30-minute job. To add power flashes to the tornado funnel. I want to add a lot more tiles, so to have like houses, trees, rivers, lakes, bridges, and all sorts of cool stuff. Where's that? It spawned quite a way off. Alright, we're going to have to catch up with that. Long term, I want to add actual visualization. So when you have a multi-vortex tornado on the map, you can see it on this map, that the actual 3D rendering has multiple vortices within it as well. I want to add, since I'm going to be adding buildings and destruction and destructible buildings, have a way of warning residents. I think there's I need to add main menu, of course, and save like progression. So like I want to add an upgrades button so you can upgrade your equipment. Drones I want to add as well, so you can move vertically and whatever controls used for a drone. The barking for trees. Hi from chat. Oh, hello there. Cool to see again people all around the world watching the stream. I do remember this game was streamed on a Japanese channel back in 2013. Then I was contacted by some people offering to translate the game into Japanese, but one thing that's difficult about translation isn't necessarily the translation itself, it's wiring in all the text you use and the logic to switch between languages. So every single place there's text, I need to add some logic which can switch that. And if it's longer in a certain language, I may need to change font sizes. So I do want to do localization. That's like ultimate end goal, is to have major languages around the world. Don't know how many. Cover a good portion of the globe, can just play in the native language. Fortunately, I think the way I've designed this is the text in the game isn't the most important part of it, really. But still, localization is like a nice feature to have. But it's going to be a while yet before the game's ready for that. When did I meet Rainbow does stuff? So, unless I'm mistaken, just now on the stream, we may have interacted on the Discord server as well. But looking at our DM history, we haven't DM'd before. And apologies if I don't recall an earlier interaction. That's just my forgetfulness. It's nothing personal. I think we're closing in on it now. I'm just trying to figure out how to get ahead of it. If we can get on this road, we can maybe get there in time. Yeah, so what I'm hoping with these gameplay settings is that it allows more people to play this game, because I don't think I've actually seen anybody put any videos on of this rebuild version of the game, and I'm guessing a big reason for that is that it's very performance heavy with the default graphics settings. So hopefully people can adjust this to the system and get better frame rates and actually be able to do some videos for this, some streams. This is going to be a hard one to intercept, because with it being such a narrow cone at the bottom, how am I going to be really accurate with how I place it? But you got the work. So I did just do a quick Google there. I could see some references to some builds on Roblox, or at least I found the Roblox profile. So apologies that I'm not massively familiar with your work. Rainbow does stuff, but with what's going on in the chat and obviously with what you've added, I'll definitely look more into your work and your background and what it is that you've done, because it looks like you've contributed a lot to this community. So I'm just trying to concentrate now on where the intercept point is, and if I can get ahead of this thing in time. Let's throw the back end around. Maybe need to add a bit more weight to the back of the truck so you can drift a bit more. Right, where's the intercept's probably going to be off-road somewhere up here. Looks like it's moving like directly north. Right, let's get one more intercept in. Alright, I think here we're probably going to have to use the rapid deploy. See how we're in the path? Looks like it, looks like it. Quick deploy, there we go. Like tornadoes in the sign, so they're definitely in the right place. If you don't already, I can send you a copy. I made a replica of the Dorothy user interface that you see at the end of Twister, but inside there I also added a lab mode where you can add buildings with different types of materials, and it like shreds stuff up depending on the tornado rating, and actually use like a real like fluid simulation equations to model that. So I can send you that if you're interested. It's not 100% scientific, but it's just a fun thing to play around with. Did we actually even get an intercept there? Let's look at the probe camera. I might have F2, get an F2 strength. Yeah, did that go right over the probe? Hey, that wasn't a bad placement, I've got to say. Oh, you know what? Quick recall. I forgot to collect the wind data. Right, let's try again. Let's turn right here. Make check with terminology of people games is the major point. Oh, that's good. I really appreciate any help on the game. Like I do try and research what I can and develop what I can, but obviously things can go quicker with help of people more knowledgeable than myself. Yeah, I'll send you a link to it. Interesting thing about that, I actually got an email out of the blue by the guy who actually made the visualization for the movie, because he liked it, from what I can gather from the emails. So he only had a Mac, and he was like, surely you know one person with a Mac who can make a Mac build of this UI for me. I ended up having to use the Unity cloud service to do a Mac build, but so he's got like a copy of this as well. Maybe I can drop the emails, like screenshots of the emails, on the Discord. Is there anything you need in particular, or just how the game runs plays? So, I'd say minimum requirements is you need a computer with a dedicated graphics card. I think if you're just using like a generic like work laptop with like a generic Intel processor with integrated graphics, you're probably going to really struggle to run the game. Having a laptop with at least a dedicated graphics card, even if it's not the most up-to-date one, is going to be a must. As long as you've got that, you should be able to find some graphics setting which lets you run it performantly. If not, let me know and I can see what other settings I can add. One thing I haven't added is vegetation rendering, which is actually quite GPU intensive. Maybe I need to add that soon, but I don't really have time to add it tonight before the update. There's a whole load of extra logic and testing to do there. Right, I think I'll win the path now. One thing I like, and this was just unintentional, is how much the precipitation actually obscures your view. Camera, let's just get this set up. Alright, let's make our escape. Yeah, no, there isn't much footage. There's none other than these streams. Nobody's streamed or made any videos of this version of the game, so whoever's first is going to be the first to get that on YouTube or TikTok or wherever you prefer to stream. So yeah, so just to give an idea of my specs I'm running, I've got an MSI gaming laptop. It's i9 processor with an RTX 4070, but it's the mobile version of the graphics card. So if you want a similar spec to mine, look for RTX 4070 and an i9. If you've got something else, like 3060 or something like that, you should still be able to run it. You just might have to turn the graphics settings down a bit. Yeah, it was cool. So before this, I was really obsessed with the movie. Well, I still am. But I was obsessed with the movie Twister. Just reached out and contacted various people related to the movie because at the time I was making replica sensors, like replica Dorothy sensors. And then the guy who, if you go through my videos of me showing the Dorothy sensors, the guy who actually made them for the movie was asking how I had one of his sensors in England, which I took as a compliment because it wasn't, it was just a replica. Ended up talking to him on LinkedIn a little bit, and he was kind of to actually send me out some original stuff. So he sent me some original circuit boards of the Dorothy sensors that you see in the movie. He sent me one. It's called Stuffed. It means it's got all the components soldered on it. It still works. I put a battery in there. LEDs still flash, even though they were built in 1995, I'm guessing. Then he also sent me what's called unstuffed ones, so it's just the normal circuit boards without anything, so you can see where all the solder tracks and everything go. And then he also sent me some stuff that he got that he used to control the gauges. He also worked on Apollo 13, like the movie Apollo 13. He had to come up with some custom electronics to actually drive the gauges, because they did actually use the real gauges from one of the Apollo spacecraft, one of the command modules. So yeah, it's just amazing how much you can find out, the sort of interactions you get just by reaching out to people related to movies or research. People are very open to discussing the experiences and things. Like just a few weeks ago, so one thing I've been doing as well is documenting all the Twister filming locations, along with some other people, some really dedicated Twister fans. So I've been trying to put a map together of that. I reached out to someone using like a location scout in Iowa, and he said he wasn't able to help with the specific locations that I was trying to track down, but he sent me a PDF copy of his scouting logbook from 1995. The amount of work which goes into scouting for a movie, like, judging by the book, he just goes down a street, thinks this would be good for filming, and then just knocks on every door, asks people, would you be willing to have your property used for production, like negotiated prices, or if the person who he talked to wasn't the right person, then get contact details for the decision makers. Like, so much work goes into a movie, and that's just deciding on the location, never mind actually filming it, road closures, and all the other stuff which goes on. Right, I will have to make this my last intercept attempt. Let's go over by this cornfield. It looks like it's going to make it over this way a bit. Maybe slightly north. But yeah, that was just a few weeks ago in the PDF, along with the original. I think it was like Microsoft Word for Apple version 5, and was like when I inspected the file to find its file type. Same like the PDF and the original thing. So you must have had some sort of portable laptop or computer you took with them while scouting. It runs pretty okay. Oh, that's good. Maybe you don't need to wait for these graphics setting changes then. But you'll be able to tweak it better. With this update. I just need to change it so when you press space it doesn't start selecting the graphics settings, because this menu is kind of always there, just when you hit escape it makes it invisible. You know what, let's twist to this ending, let's do a Bill Paxton and just drive straight into it. 120, 130, 140, 150, 180, 90, 200 miles an hour. Let's say it peaked at 200. We still gather data this way. If you watch the data page. If you can get it the right distance from the funnel, you can actually stay in orbit around it and capture a load of data. If I go a bit slower, I'll let the winds do the work. Oh, I'm 260 miles an hour now. Look, we captured that data. I think it set us down right in the path again. So yeah, let's just do some tornado surfing down the stream with. Yeah, the curtain doesn't move in the wind. I'm just thinking that's another thing I need to add, and it would be a fairly quick thing, is make the vegetation actually respond to the tornado winds as well. I should probably put a disclaimer that this game isn't realistic, because they'll probably have somebody who will do this and be like, oh, that looks pretty safe, like the truck just goes up, lands on its wheels again, you gain a bit of air, let's try this in real life, and then die, and then somehow it'll be my fault. You have to put disclaimers on everything, because, yeah. Given a population, there's always going to be some percentage who will just interpret things in the most idiotic way possible. So yeah, if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, this looks realistic, it looks like driving a truck into an F5 tornado is relatively safe. Like, no, the violence has turned down a bit for the game. This is definitely not suitable for training or any sort of real-world application. It looks like we're outside the map bounds now. Still gather data though. These things produce more sound, like... Yeah, one thing... So it does produce sound. One thing I've managed to do is figure out the levels. You gotta set like the volume level for everything. And what I haven't done is balance the levels properly. It'll be plenty loud once I get the balance correct, but it's quite hard to get right. Just gotta figure out how loud should the truck engine be compared to like the wind sound and the thunderclaps you hear. Yeah, so yeah, I do need to bump the volume up. Maybe I'll do that before this update tonight, because yeah, I will need to end the stream. That's quite violent, isn't it? We'll have to end the stream. Fix that bug with the settings menu again selected when you press spacebar, and then add that little thing and then push the update and write out the update as well on Steam. I want to try and get to bed in the next 45 minutes or so, because I need to be up early tomorrow. But yeah, I will try and get all that done, because I want people to be able to have a brilliant game to play. Yeah, let's watch it rope out. Once it ropes out, I'll have to end the stream. But thank you everybody who's joined and participated, contributed to the discussion, and thank you everybody who's tuned in and watched. If you haven't already, please do the YouTube things, liking, subscribing, commenting, etc. Because it helps the channel, gain more popularity, helps more people find out about the game. So you can see you've got a tiny little noodle there. Those are going to come back down. Game's determined to not let me end the stream, isn't it? Is it supposed to be slightly above the mountain? It wasn't meant to be. The asset I use for placing roads does glitch a bit. I am thinking of completely replacing the roads with another road asset, which I might do next month. Yeah, because of issues like that, like it can clip above the terrain and go some weird things. Okay, that last one is roping out now, so yeah, time for me to end the stream. I'll get this all updated, and I'll push the update up in the next 20 minutes or so. But thank you, everybody. I'm signing out now, and have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world.